So, you started out in New York, and you've also played across New Zealand, Spain, and now England. Having travelled all over the world for rugby, what was it that made you fall in love with the sport?
I fell in love with the sport because of the community. I played football my whole life, and my family was a football family, and that is real football, not American football. But when I went to uni, I found out that there was rugby, and the community over there was really just such a welcoming, open community. And it was just really cool to start a new sport where I didn't know anything, so any little thing was just celebrated, and everybody went around and supported each other. So I just kept finding more opportunities and more cool people to play with.
Having played sports for your whole life, do you see yourself as an inherently competitive person?
Yes, very competitive. That's what happens when you have an older brother that sits on you.
So it's because of your older brother?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you feel like you have got the better sporting record now that you're both well into adulthood?
Oh, without a doubt. So, you know the saying that those who can't teach? I play rugby. He trains people for football.
That's the difference. So played all over the world. What is your favourite stadium or pitch that you've ever played?
Ooh, that is a good question. I would have to say either, there's three. There's three that I'm going in between. So Twickenham was brilliant. That was awesome. Then Forest Bar Stadium in southern New Zealand in Dunedin. That stadium was just gorgeous and was an indoor stadium, so that was just an unreal experience. And then it was really cool playing in Northlands. I forget the name of the stadium, but it's the stadium one of the stadiums that they used for the World Cup in New Zealand. So it was really cool to have been there and see all the advertisements for the World Cup and be like, I'm playing on the field that they're going to be using for the World Cup.
Speaking of New Zealand, how did playing over there, a country with such a massive adoration for rugby players and for the game as a whole, compare to playing over in Spain, where it's still finding its feet and growing as a sport?
It's very distinct. When I went over to New Zealand, I was immediately intimidated by the fact that I was in New Zealand, because everything we think about in the States and probably everywhere else in the world, you think of rugby, you think of New Zealand, and you think that they have played rugby their whole lives. But what I found was just another group of people who also wanted to learn rugby, some people who had started later than I, some people who started when they were kids. And it was really cool, the fact that the whole community came behind that. That's something really unique that we don't really have in the States. But that's also something I found in Spain, where we had supporters from the entire community, we had families coming up, showing up, and then people would show up for the kids programs. People would go and train small kids and have them grow throughout those programs. So the spirit that they had behind the sport in both places actually was very similar.
You obviously had a stellar performance in the Championship player final against Tigers with 2 tries, and Kingsley also mentioned a game against Kenilworth in which you were superb. What was your highlight of your time at Cheltenham Tigers?
Winning the championship definitely was something amazing. Playing at Twickenham was an unreal experience, but what was even cooler than the rugby behind it was the fact that when we came back, we got to the clubhouse and there was an entire crowd of people tunneling us back into the clubhouse, supporting us, and there were just faces that we didn't know. And just to see the impact that we had on the community and that they supported us, and the fact that both of our teams had won at Twickenham the same day, it was just such an amazing experience. It was, what a day is just the only thing that you can say to it. Quote Maddie Massey.
Your quality was obviously there for everyone to see, Tigers fans from both sides. Were you given a specific role in that game by Tom Hudson?
No, I was just told to play and do my thing. There was nothing specific. What was really fun, a fun little tidbit from that game, I have a little tradition of dyeing my hair for important games, just for the fun of it. I don't know. I started when I was in Spain and I kind of just kept up the tradition. So so dyed the sides of my hair red and black for the Cheltenham colors. I showed up to the game and Charlie Beckett saw me, and he didn't tell me this until afterwards, but he told me as soon as he saw me with the hair, he was just thinking, you better have a stellar performance with your hair looking like that.
And you did.
I don't know, tradition works apparently.
You made your debut for the USA against Spain this summer. What did it mean to represent your country for the first time?
It was an incredible experience. It was something that I've definitely wanted and worked towards, because representing your country means that you've just been, honestly, it's hard to put into words what it means, because it's something that so many work for, and you don't really understand the work that goes into being in that environment and competing at that level until you're actually there. So it's just been an incredible experience. It was especially special to me to have it against Spain, in Spain, against my previous teammates. That was another little caveat, another little special moment for me. But just to have been able to put on the jersey and having been selected out of anyone who could have been selected is an incredible honor.
Do you have any specific ambitions for your time on the international scene?
I just want to play my best rugby. I want to push the team forward and leave a mark on the rugby scene with USA's name on it.
This next question, if the answer is no, it's fine. You joined Tigers as part of a trio of USA internationals. Are you close with Tess Fury or KMA Sagapoli? Have you spoken with them?
Yeah, I'm close with both of them. I've actually known Tess for so many years. We've both from the Northeast, New Jersey and New York, so it's actually really funny how few times that we've played together but have been basically in parallels. She played with Northeast Academy for sevens before I was able to join the team, and then she joined New York Rugby Club after I left, so it's cool to be able to play with her at the USA and now be able to play with her in club. And then May and I immediately connected at camp. She's an amazing person, extremely hard worker, great human, and definitely somebody you don't want to run against.
So, I'll say a word to you, and you give me the context. Sparky.
Sparky?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. That's my dad's nickname for me. That goes twofold. My family are huge New York Islander fans, and the mascot is Sparky. And when I dabbled my hand very terribly with basketball, the team name was the Sparks. So, Dad, yep. Thanks, Dad.
It's good. It's a good nickname. It's nice.
Damn it, Kingsley. You sure you don't want to ask me about my brother's video as well?
No, it's okay. What is your mindset when you're approaching a new challenge? Because you've had a lot of them over your career. How do you go into these new things?
So life is about challenges in general. It's constant challenges, but in regards to constantly switching teams and living in new spaces, being away from family and having to create new communities in each spot. One, it's an exciting challenge and it's an exciting new experience. And secondly, the first time I ever really did a solo trip, I was going upstate New York for just a camp, and we got to the airport, and honestly, my dad was ready to go put me on the plane, but because of some procedures, we weren't able to get me there, but he was somehow able to get around the system and get me on that plane. But honestly, in the back of my mind, I was hoping a little bit that I wouldn't be able to get on that plane. And I got on that plane and had the most amazing time, got interested in hiking and rock climbing and canoeing. And so every time that I think, do I really want to go and do this? And something seems scary. I think about that experience and remember that it is exciting and has the potential to be an incredible experience.
Brilliant. So finally, you're settled down, it's a Saturday afternoon, you've got the rugby on the big TV, you're on the couch. What is your drink and snack of choice?
What season are we in?
Spring.
Spring. Ooh.
It's the Six Nations.
Six Nations. Okay, so Six Nations, but we're in England, so I'm going to still say that it's cold enough to have a mug of hot cocoa, because that's amazing, but it's not just the powder. It's going to be proper hot cocoa with steamed milk and like dark chocolate, limited sugar, quality hot chocolate, and the snack of choice. I'm going to go with chocolate truffles.
Excellent choice. Decadent.
I like my chocolate.
Thank you very much.